Thank you.
We read the acknowledgement first?
Yeah.
Always.
We should say start the meeting. Yeah.
I'd like to start the meeting. If everyone be at attention, thank you. We acknowledge that the land on which we gather is Treaty 2 land, traditional territory of Anishinaabe, Cree, Ojibwe, Assiniboine, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and homeland of the Métis Nation. We affirm our commitment to moving forward in partnership with Indigenous communities in a spirit of collaboration and reconciliation. I'd like to open the meeting with the first motion by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Ray. Be it resolved that the regular council meeting agenda be amended as follows. We have an addition, 9H, letter of support from the Fort Dauphin Museum, the Arts, Culture, and Sport grant. And any comments, questions? All in favor? Carried, thank you. So we'll get right into the meat and potatoes of the meeting. Moved by Councillor Ray, seconded by Councillor Bellemare. Be it resolved that council accepts the regular council meeting agenda as amended. Assume that's carried. And then Councillor Daly, seconded by Councillor Ray. Be it resolved that council waives the reading and accepts and approves as circulated the minutes of the following meeting. And that'll be the regular council meeting of November 28th, 2022. Questions or comments? Anyone need to say anything about that? All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Moved by Councillor Bellemare and seconded by Councillor Daly. Be it resolved that all items listed under item 5, the consent agenda, be approved as follows and form part of these minutes. Questions or comments from anyone? Okay. So you want to?
You get to read it.
I get to read all of it? Okay, here we go. The consent agenda action items. Number 1, approval of the city accounts due by year end. Be it resolved that council hereby authorizes the mayor to ensure review and payment of all accounts falling due by year end in accordance with the city's municipal tendering and procurement policy. As recommended by the city manager, the adoption of interim operating financial plan for the period from January 1, 2023 until the adoption of the 2023 financial plan. Be it resolved that, in accordance with Section 163 of the Municipal Act, the City of Dauphin has made the following provisional estimates of operating expenditures for the municipality for the period from January 1, 2023 until the adoption of the 2023 financial plan, based on prorated annual expenditures from the beginning of the year to the anticipated date of the financial plan public hearing. General operating requirements. General government services, $636,818. Protective services, $1,627,105. Transportation services, $838,776. Environmental services, $464,584. Public health and welfare services, $15,468. Environmental development services, $134,742. Economic development services, $184,796. Recreation and cultural services, $919,325. Also, the utility operating requirements, total water and sewer of $1,109,980. As recommended by the city manager, Part 3, transfer of excess general and utility revenues to reserve funds. Whereas the Municipal Act allows the municipality to transfer excess revenue to reserve funds on an annual basis, be it resolved that council authorizes any excess general revenue reported in the 2022 fiscal year to be transferred to the general reserve in accordance with the Municipal Act subsections 169-2 or 169 Part 2 and 169 Part 3 up to a maximum of $1 million. Be it further resolved that council authorizes any excess utility revenue reported in the 2022 fiscal year to be transferred to the Water and Sewer Reserve Fund up to a maximum of $750,000. As recommended by the city manager. Part 4, provision to withdraw from the Snow and Ice Reserve Fund. Be it resolved that council authorizes the withdrawal of $100,000 from the Snow and Ice Reserve Fund or the amount of the actual snow and ice removal costs that exceed the 2022 budget, whichever is the lesser. Also recommended by the city manager, 2022 taxes added, supplemental. Be it resolved that council approves the 2022 added taxes as per the Schedule A that's attached. As recommended by the Director of Finance and the Tax Clerk, Part 6, 2022 canceled taxes, supplemental. Be it resolved that council approves the 2022 canceled taxes as per Schedule B that's attached. As recommended by the Director of Finance and the Tax Clerk, Part 7, outstanding receivable accounts added to taxes. Be it resolved that the following receivable accounts be added to taxes. Roll 0087500, amount of $201 for weed control costs. Roll number 0092900, $464.21, also for weed control costs. Roll number 0232800, $106.39 for weed control costs. And roll number 0254200, $593.34 for weed control costs, for a total of $1,364.98. As recommended by the Director of Finance and the Tax Clerk, Part 8, outstanding water accounts added to taxes. Be it resolved that the following water accounts be added to taxes. Roll number 0074400, $235.39. The current owner failed to pay. Roll number 0164000, $238.81. The previous tenant did not pay the full final utility bill. The same for roll number 0097900, $586.41. Roll number 0058400, $352.88. And roll number 0077300 for $352.12, totaling $1,765.61, as recommended by the Director of Finance and the Utility Clerk. Part 9, the 2023 council meeting schedule. Be it resolved that council hereby approves the schedule of City of Dauphin regular council meetings slated for 2023 as per the Schedule C that's attached. As recommended by the city manager, a number of filing items: the Association of Manitoba Municipalities member advisory for the Northern and Central District, the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, FCM Connect, November 29th and December 6th, and the FCM Voice, November 28th and December 5th. Manitoba news releases from the Sport, Culture, and Heritage Department on liquor licensing, and from the Department of Finance, legislation that would repeal the fees on cannabis sales. Part number 4, Mountain View School Division, the News Digest from November 28th, Prairie Mountain Health, Health Plus newsletter, December 2022. The Manitoba Métis Federation, occurring congratulations on our recent election. And item number 7 from Parks Canada, an update on the road repairs in progress on Highway 19 in Riding Mountain National Park. As recommended by the mayor and city manager, we have Schedule A. I won't read through the entire roll. I will say that the supplementary taxes added to the city of Dauphin are $68,890.28. Schedule B, which includes the 2022 supplemental taxes canceled in the city of Dauphin. Again, I won't read the entire list, but that's a total of $32,042.47. Schedule C is included, listing the 2023 regular council meetings. I'd like to make the motion by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Deputy Mayor Laughlin. Sorry, I've been advised we have to go back. All the very beginning. So, sorry, backing it up. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Daly. Be it resolved that all items listed under 5, item 5, the consent agenda be approved as follows. So that's just what I finished reading. Discussions, comments? All those in favor? Thank you. Now we move to the motion be resolved that council accepts as information the following corporate report for December 12th. So the city manager's report for November 2022.
Thank you,
Darla.
Mr. Mayor. So my report for November talked about the meetings that I went to, and then I have a few highlights or updates. So in November was one of the quarterly meetings for the airport board, and with the recent election, council representatives, some changed, some stayed the same. So representatives from the city of Dauphin for the airport board are Councillor Devin Stakilo and Deputy Mayor Christian Laughlin. And then for the RM are Councillors Ken Plutswa and Todd Baguski. In the summer of 2022, there were 3 large projects completed at the airport. Cracks on the runway were sealed, and that is something that we do yearly or have been doing yearly for the past 3 years. Lines on the runway were painted, and this work was not done for at least 8 years previously. And a point of sale terminal that provides for fuel sales at the airport was upgraded to a chip or tap technology. The first 2 items were required by Transport Canada, and the third item was required by the point of sale provider because the equipment that we had at the airport was obsolete. As part of the non-aircraft related business at the airport, the board manages leases and leases with tenants. And so the board renewed a 5-year lease for one of the several billboards that there's on the airport property, and that starts January 1st, 2023. And in November, the airport manager noticed that there was some water pooling near the north side of the tenant's area. And so the City of Dauphin's utility department, which contracts to the airport to provide services regarding the utility, because it is city water out there, they went and fixed the water main. In terms of training, it seemed like it was a busy month for some webinars and things. So the Rural Manitoba Economic Development Corporation, or RMED, hosted 2 webinars. The first was earlier in the month, and it was an introduction to their corporation and helped us to understand their role. A second one featured information from Manitoba Transportation and Infrastructure regarding development along highways in Manitoba under provincial jurisdiction. The Manitoba Municipal Administrators also hosted 2 webinars. One was an introduction to public relations and talked about communication strategies. And the second one was jointly hosted by the Institute of Public Administration Canada, or IPAC. And that was regarding public policy through a municipal lens. And that was, how does a municipality create policy or provide support to provincial or federal policies or programs? Really good discussion there. And the group agreed that we all want our social programs to succeed, but we struggle to see how the municipality would fund all or part of them. I also attended the AMM convention along with 6 members of council and our deputy city manager. I attended all of the plenary sessions as well as meetings with AMM Cities Caucus, RCMPD Division, and Urban Systems, which is a consultant currently performing our city's development plan or creating our city plan. Something new that the AMN did this year was to offer a chunk of time where there was access to staff members from various provincial departments. So that was during a breakout session that I was able to sneak away on November 22nd. And instead of going to the breakout session, I did choose to talk to Leanne Gardner, and she's the Assistant Executive Director, Police Services and Public Safety Division, Manitoba Justice. Very big title. And that was regarding the city's Community Safety and Wellbeing Plan project. Ms. Gardner had just presented to the entire group about Manitoba and public safety, empowering communities. And one of the topics that she spoke about was the community safety and wellbeing plans that were promised to 12 communities back in April of 22. I learned at that time also that Swan River had started their plan near the middle of November 2022. And Ms. Gardner indicated that Dauphin's turn to start the process was coming up shortly. On November 25th, the city received notice that we'll be starting the process to create our plan shortly, and our first meeting with Manitoba Justice is later this week on December 15th. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Charlotte. Is there any questions or comments, clarification? Councillor Bellemare?
Thank you. Thank you. Just two, actually. For the timber fab yard maintenance review, can you just give me a brief outline what's involved with that process?
Certainly. So probably timber fab or definitely timber fab is the most active tenant and largest tenant out at the airport. And part of their process is that they do a lot of manufacturing inside a large hangar, and they also have a lot of storage outside the hangar. And for that business to operate 12 months of the year, they have to move snow around in the wintertime and clean up in the summertime, and there's outside garbage disposal areas, things like that. So we noticed that there was perhaps a little bit of improvement that we could have and we wanted to start the winter off on the right foot. So we had a meeting with them and talked about yard waste and making sure that things didn't, or not yard waste, but they call it their yard. So basically garbage or refuse blowing around. We did find that there might have been a tarp or two that had found its way out to the airside, and that's definitely something that we don't want airside, because if it ends up interfering with a plane that's taking off or landing, that could result in some big issues. So we talked about where to put snow, how to clean up after in the springtime, and how to secure different debris and whatnot. And yet there was something as simple on their part as storing their pallets in a different location and to a different height, because last year we found that it kind of created a snow fence and blew snow on a roadway that plugged absolutely every time it snowed or there was any wind. So we asked them to rework it so that this year we don't have as much road maintenance to do, so it didn't catch snow. Good relations, frankly. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. The other question was for there was a fire inspection done with the Watson that the ICT person was involved with. So what's the timeline for getting a report on that?
Yeah, so the Watson Arts Center has received the report, and we reviewed the report and looked at things that were the city's responsibility and the Dauphin and District Allied Arts Council responsibility, based on the foundation that we've already laid through our liaison committee with them. And the city is already got items in the 2023 budget that helps to work with that report, and other items have been identified to the Arts Council.
Councillor Ray, did you have a question? No, you just thank you. Anyone over here on my left-hand side? Okay, so we'll call for the question. All those in favor of that to accept the report indicate. Thank you. And now we have the motion by Deputy Mayor Laughlin, seconded by Councillor Sobering. Be resolved that Council accepts as information the following corporate report for December 12th regular Council meeting. That's for the Deputy City Manager. Lisa, did you want to speak to that report at all? Or no, you're fine? Any?
Okay, sorry. I have a question. You mentioned PEASI, P-E-A-S-I, and I wasn't sure what that was, what the abbreviation stood for.
Yeah, so we contract through AllNet to have alert services for any kind of an emergency in the community to ensure that we inform our residents in a timely manner. So the ICT manager was just interested in looking at an alternative for the alert system through PEASI. So we had a meeting with Councillor Daly, the ICT manager, and the RM CAO, Nicole Chakota, to review the costs associated with it. But we found that actually the AllNet services was comparable cost, and there's quite a bit involved in switching over to a new system. So we decided to stay with AllNet.
Any other questions or comments from anyone? Call for the question then. All in favor? Thank you. Carried. like to get a mover and a seconder for the next motion to our council to accept as information the corporate report from the ICT manager for November. Can I get Council Lachlan and Daly? Thank you. So we have a report from our ICT manager. Questions, issues from anyone? Concerns? Okay, can I, all in favor? Thank you. The next motion moved by Councillor Daly, seconded by Deputy Mayor Lachlan. Be it resolved that the finance accounts, having been examined by council, be hereby authorized and approved as follows. Check totals from check number 30700 to 30792, 93 total checks for a total of $916,309.35. There were no voided checks in that check range, and there were no voided checks in past ranges, and also to accept the electronic payments made during the month of November for $186,870.63. Any comments? Yes.
Yes. In this report, there were about $1,600 that went to the pound because, of course, the city provides some funding for the pound. And I just wanted to remind people that that animals, if there are too many animals, that animals need to be spayed or neutered, and that the Humane Society has a very economical program to help people with that piece, because, you know, it just breaks my heart that there's so many strays wandering around and our pound fees are high and it's hard to find homes for animals. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Any other questions? Off the question, all those in favor, please indicate. Thank you. Carried. On the next motion by Deputy Mayor Lachlan, seconded by Councillor Sobring, be it resolved that council accepts as information the staff engineering report for December 12th, 2022 council meeting, the report from the building inspector for November. Questions? Call for the question. All those in favor? Thank you. Moved by Councillor Daly, seconded by Councillor Sobring, that council accepts as information the following protective services report by the bylaw enforcement officer for November 2022. Questions, concerns? None. All in favor? Indicate. Thank you. Next motion, agenda item 6D-2, Councillor Sobring, seconded by Councillor Ray. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the following protective services report from the animal control officer. This is 2 reports for October and November. Questions?
Sorry, I'm on an animal thing here. I see in the animal control officer that there were 8 coyotes, and that's like a lot to have. And I mean, we've seen foxes and that sort of thing. So just a reminder to people that, you know, coyotes are around, and to watch for small animals and small children and whatever. Well, not children, but, you know, watch, you know, just be careful, because you want to make sure that things near and dear to you are being well supervised.
Any other questions? Call for the question. All in favor? Thank you. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Deputy Mayor Lachlan. Be it resolved that council accepts as information minutes from the following committees. First one is from Communities in Bloom, their regular meeting from October the 13th. And the second from the Active Living and Transport Committee, their regular meeting from September the 22nd. Is there anyone on council that participated in either of those meetings that needs to add anything or add any detail? Councillor Ray?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that in June, we'll be celebrating Bike Week here in the city. And it was celebrated last year, but we really want to try and celebrate it a little bit better this year. And after the next meeting that we'll have in January, we'll be able to get the exact dates of that.
Thank you. Anyone else? Other committees? Any comments? Thank you. All those in favor, please indicate. Thank you. Carried. The next motion needs a mover and a seconder. Be it resolved that council accepts as information 2019 infographic snapshot from Riding Mountain National Park confirming information related to the park's inclement weather damages, ecosystem, fire management, human resources, realty, projects and development, visitor experiences, conservation, and commitment to truth and reconciliation. Can I get someone to move the acceptance of that report or the presentation of that report from Riding Mountain National Park? Councillor Sobering, and since Deputy Mayor Loughlin put up his hand, he has seconded that. Any comments or questions about that report from Riding Mountain National Park? I'd just like to add before we vote that Charla and I had met with the new superintendent and the director or the external relations manager last week, and I think it was a very productive discussion. And we had brought to their attention, the superintendent's attention, that we did have a memorandum of understanding from previous years. And so she wasn't surprised that there was one, but she was glad to have received it. And I think, opened the door for some further discussions and indicated to them that we'll be contacting them for the next meeting. And so we'll continue to work on that. So I think our relationship with Riding Mountain National Park is in good hands and will continue to get better. So can I get call for the question? All those in favor of that report from Riding Mountain? Thank you. Moved by Deputy Mayor Loughlin. Will require a seconder for this motion. And whereas the City of Dauphin participates in the Manitoba Crime Stoppers program, be it resolved that council accepts as information correspondence dated November 23rd from Boris Noasad, Chair of the Manitoba Crime Stoppers Board, updating council on the operational limitations the board has been facing due to COVID-19 restrictions, while still providing full tip line services and requesting a donation of 25 cents per resident. Further, be it resolved that council forwards this request to the 2023 budget deliberations. Can I get a seconder for that? Councillor Stikilo. Is there any discussion regarding this? Seeing none, can I call for the question? I'll indicate. Thank you. The next motion also requires a mover and a seconder. Whereas the City of Dauphin and the rural municipality of Dauphin have a municipal emergency plan that applies to both municipalities, and whereas the regulation of Manitoba's Emergency Measures Act require municipal emergency plans be reviewed and updated yearly, be it resolved that council accepts as information the 2023 municipal emergency plan for the City of Dauphin and the rural municipality of Dauphin as reviewed and updated by both municipalities. Can I get someone to move that report, please? Councillor Ray. And a seconder. Sobering. Comments on this resolution? None? Call for the question. All in favor? Thank you. Next agenda item 9C, whereas a council resolution is required to accompany request to Manitoba Infrastructure Traffic Engineering Branch to change a speed limit along a provincial highway. Be it resolved that council accepts as information a memorandum dated October 4th, 2022 from the Director of Public Works and Operations, noting that in preparation for the South End development along Provincial Trunk Highway, PTH 5A and 10A, which may include illumination offset at 5 meters from the edge of the roadway, the 50 km/h zone needs to be extended farther south to Triangle Road, and the 70 km/h zone needs to be extended farther south into the rural municipality of Dauphin. Further be it resolved that council agrees with the recommendation from the Director of Public Works and Operations and authorizes a request to be submitted to Manitoba Infrastructure Traffic Engineering Branch to extend speed zones along PTH 5A 10A as specified above. Can I get someone to move this, please? Sobering. And a secondary. Daly. Questions? Comments? No? None? Yes. Councillor Daly? No? Sorry. Okay. Thank you. Call for the question. All in favor? Yes. Thank you. Agenda item 9.D. Whereas the City of Dauphin participates in the Dutch elm disease tree removal program through Manitoba and Resource Development. And whereas on October 28th, 2022, the City of Dauphin released a request for proposal for the removal of 172 Dutch elm disease trees as identified by the Forestry and Peatlands branch of Manitoba Agriculture and Resource Development, which closed on November 25th, 2022. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information a memorandum dated December 8th from the Deputy City Manager noting that 4 RFP submissions were received for the removal of Dutch elm disease trees for the 2022-23 contract year, and recommending that the contract be awarded to the lowest qualified bidder, Tree Pro, care of Jordy Goosen of Altona, Manitoba. Further, be it resolved that Council agrees with the Deputy City Manager's recommendation and awards the contract for the removal of 172 Dutch elm disease trees in Dauphin to Tree Pro for a total of $38,734.50, with the work to be completed on or before March 1st, 2023. Can I get a mover for that motion, please? Yep. Mr. Kylo. And a seconder, Sobering. Comments? Yes, Councillor Sobering.
Was the with the pandemic and the previous Dutch elm tree removal slowed down, like the program? Was it kind of delayed, or did they continue working?
No, it just continued on as usual. We had 196 trees removed in 2021 and 210 trees actually removed in 2020. Last year, the process was slowed a little bit because we had really heavy snowfall, but otherwise the contract, the timeline is the same each year. The trees have to be removed by March, and that's what takes place.
Okay, thanks.
I'll also actually add to it. So the last 2 summers, we even had, I think about 18 or 20 trees, what the province would consider super spreaders. Those are removed in July, I believe, or early August. I think there's a very small window to remove what the province deems as super spreaders, and that helps to slow the spread even more. So we started that actually during the pandemic, and I would think that we would, if the province will keep working with us to identify them, we'll do a few more trees this summer too.
Okay, yeah. So I was just noting the city provides 150 trees a year, right, for replanting, and we always exceed that in removals.
So we've been kind of playing around with that tree giveaway. I think that we've decided on recommended to Council 100, and then that's sustainable and have there's interest from the community in that amount going forward. But that's just the ones that are going to private. The Dauphin Rec Services also plants trees every year as well, filling in boulevards or putting them in different spaces. So it would be great to plant even more than what we have to take down because of Dutch elm, but we try our best to plant as many as we can to make sure that it's sustainable and that we can care for them so that they don't die in those first few years.
Could I just ask also a question of clarification, just in regards to, is there any provincial government contribution to this program for the removal? Because I know that years ago, we were involved and the province stopped funding new municipalities, if I'm correct, but that because we've been involved in the program, we're continuing to partner with them. That's still the case?
Yes, so in the fiscal year 2018-2019, the province changed their subsidy rate to municipalities. They were paying a flat fee of $181.32 per tree. And since then, they pay us one per tree, depending on size. So $190 for a small tree, $380 for a medium elm, and $570 for a large.
And I'd just like to finish off what we're adding by saying that past councils, I think, did a very commendable job to stay in the program. I think there was some pressure in the past to not participate, but by staying in it, the provinces continue to partner with us, and it's a problem that's not going to go away. Yeah. So
that's true. As you mentioned, Mayor, the province used to fund it 100% and perform the work. Now the municipality performs the work, and the province partially funds it. So we have had to top up probably 10 to about 25% since it became municipal responsibility for the past maybe 9 or 10 years.
Thank you. So we'll call for the question on that resolution. All those in favor, please indicate. Thank you. Carried. Agenda item 9E, moved by Deputy Mayor Loughlin, seconded by Councillor Ray. Whereas affordable housing has been identified as a pressing need in Dauphin, and the Dauphin Church of Christ has entered into a development agreement with the City of Dauphin to construct approximately 16 affordable housing units, currently in the form of fourplexes at 220 Whitmore Avenue West, which is the Parkland Crossing location, with construction of the first fourplex already underway. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information correspondence dated November 25th from Wayne Olson requesting a letter supporting Dauphin Church of Christ application to Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation Rapid Housing Initiative for funding to assist with the construction of further 3 fourplexes. Further be it resolved that Council commends Dauphin Church of Christ for contributing to the development of much needed affordable housing in our community, and authorizes a letter supporting their application to CMHC's Rapid Housing Initiative for funding to support the Parkland Crossing 16-unit development. Any questions or added information from any member of council? To call for the question then, all those in favor, please indicate. Thank you. Agenda item 9F, whereas the city anticipates a budget of $15,000 for the proactive replacement of the aged supervisory controls and data acquisition, SCADA, wireless point-to-point equipment for the water treatment plant operations as part of the 2023 capital plan. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information a memorandum dated December 12th from the Information and Communication Technology Manager, noting that SCADA equipment is approximately 20 years old and showing signs of failure, inhibiting valuable real data collection, and recommending that RiaNet Wireless be contracted to replace the SCADA equipment for a quote of $10,750 plus approximately $1,500 for cable runs. Further be it resolved that Council agrees with the ICT Manager's recommendation and authorizes the contracting of RiaNet Wireless to replace the city's SCADA equipment in January 2023 with funds to come from the utility reserve for a total price not exceeding $15,000 plus applicable taxes. That motion is moved by Councillor Bellemare. I need a seconder, please. Councillor Sobring. Any comments or further information? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate. Thank you. The next motion, item 9G, moved by Deputy Mayor Loughlin, who requires a seconder. Whereas each year Council reviews the citizen appointments for external committees and boards for the next term, be it resolved that Council approve the 2023 citizen appointments as outlined in Schedule D of the attached package. Can I get a seconder for that motion, please? Councillor Sticilo, thank you. Questions? Comments? None. Great then. Calling the question. All in favor? Thank you. Schedule D is as a. I'm not going to go through that. No, don't need to. Okay, thank you. The next motion, agenda item 9H, moved by Councillor Ray, seconded by Councillor Bellemare. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information correspondence dated December 12th from Teresa Dejos, the Executive Director, Curator for Fort Dauphin Museum, requesting a letter of support supporting the museum's application for a Manitoba Sport, Culture and Heritage Grant to assist with costs to host Dauphin 125's birthday celebration on July the 11th, 2023. Further be resolved that Council appreciates the Fort's efforts to recognize this significant milestone in Dauphin's history and authorizes a letter supporting their application for the grant in question to make this event a celebration of Dauphin's 125th birthday. Comments or questions? All in favor? Thank you. The next agenda item, moved by Deputy Mayor Loughlin, requires a seconder. Be it resolved that bylaw 09-2022, being a bylaw of the City of Dauphin to prescribe fees, fines, and charges for municipal services, be now read a second time. Can I get a seconder for that motion, please? Councillor Ray. Questions, comments? None. Thank you. Call for the question. All those in favor? Thank you. Carried. Okay. So we require a motion for this third and final reading of bylaw 09/2022, being a bylaw by the City of Dauphin to prescribe fees, fines, and charges for municipal services, be now read a third time and be signed and sealed by the mayor and the city manager. So I need a motion. Councillor Daly and Deputy Mayor Loughlin seconded. So this is a recorded vote. So we'll just go in order. If we're good, or call for the question then. All those in favor? It's everyone. Motion is carried. Thank you. The second reading also. Second and third reading of the next agenda item. We need a mover and a seconder. Be it resolved that bylaw 10/2022, being a bylaw of the City of Dauphin to establish and regulate a code of conduct for members of council, be now read a second time. Can I get a mover for that, please? Councillor Ray. And a seconder. Kylo. Thank you. All those in favor? Carried. Agenda item 10B, moved by Councillor Ray, seconded by Councillor Bellemare. Be it resolved, this is the third reading. Be it resolved that bylaw 10/22, being a bylaw of the City of Dauphin to establish and regulate a code of conduct for members of council, be now read a third time and be signed and sealed by the mayor and the city manager. Again, it's a recorded vote, so indicate please all those in favor. That would be us. Thank you very much. Motion is carried. And agenda item 10C, need a mover and a seconder. Be it resolved that bylaw 11/2022, being a bylaw of the City of Dauphin to establish a mitigation preparedness reserve fund, be now read a first time. Councillor Daly. Seconder, Councillor Kylo. Questions or comments? Yes, Councillor Sobring.
Is the reserve fund a provincial requirement and to deal with the flooding that we typically have in Vermilion and the insurance?
So because we put in a disaster financial assistance grant and for us to participate in the mitigation preparedness program, if we're not spending the money in this fiscal year, we do have to set up a special reserve that holds that money. And there's a time limit. I think it's about 5 years of when we can spend the money. And there's restrictions on how we spend the money. And it is for a plan to mitigate.
Thank you.
So just further to that then, if this fund wasn't in place or as we're creating it, if that happened in past years, would that be general reserve funding or how would we deal with
So
that?
in years, we've actually, so the money that we're getting for this is the deductible for that claim. So we're getting $70,000+ back. That would be our deductible. So in normal years, we would actually have to pay that. We would be out of pocket that money to be able to get the disaster financial assistance grant. So this is the first time that we have exercised the opportunity to do this. They've only had it in place, probably this is year 2. So we saw it as an opportunity to keep our money and use it for good things.
Any further comments or questions? Call for the question and all those in favor? Thank you. That motion is carried. The next agenda item moved by Deputy Mayor Loughlin requiring a seconder. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the invitation listed below and is for the Northwest Media Council grand opening, which was held this afternoon at their building on Main Street. Can I get a seconder for that motion, please? Councillor Kylo. Comments or questions? Anything to add? All those in favor? Thank you. Carried. I'd like to move now to councillor reports. So moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by, looking at Councillor Sobring. So thank you very much, Councillor Sobring. Be resolved that council accepts as information the councillor reports for the regular council meeting of December 12th, 2022. I have not developed an order on how to do this, so let's just, we'll start on my right-hand side. So Councillor Bellemare, are you ready to get out of the chute on this, if you don't mind?
For sure, thank you.
Okay.
On November 28th and 29th, I attended library meetings for both Dauphin Public and Parkland Regional. And just a reminder that, it's cold weather coming up or holidays or whatever, and you're looking for something to do, a reminder that our library offers a huge amount of online resources. There's all kinds of books and crafting programs and movies and research databases. So you just need a membership with the library and all that is available to you, and it's free of charge. And I attended a monthly Community in Bloom meeting, plus a couple of budgets. So even though we're getting into the shortest day of the year, we're already planning for beautifying Dauphin next summer. I went to a Riverside Cemetery meeting and met our 2 new RM councillor partners on the board, and looking forward to working with them on upcoming projects. Another successful community market was held on Saturday at the Watson, and another one will be held at the Friendship Center this coming Saturday. There's local crafters and home-based businesses, and they certainly appreciate your support. So if you have any last-minute Christmas shopping, make sure you check that out. I attended the city Christmas party for the city staff at Aspen Lodge on December 2nd. A thank you to the staff for planning it, and to all the staff that joined the fun, and also for the great raffle prizes that were donated by local businesses, which provided a way to raise money for the Christmas hamper program. So that was a great success. And to community members who supported the Trees of Light project in CN Park, thank you. And if you haven't been there at nighttime yet, make sure you do so because it's beautiful. Thank you to Dauphin Rotary and friends for organizing this. And I'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, as this is our last council meeting for this year. So enjoy, make great memories, and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Bellemare. Councillor Ray?
Thank you, Mayor Boziak. November 28th, I was in attendance at our last regular council meeting. On the 29th, I attended my first active living and transportation committee meeting. December 4th, I attended the memory tree lighting at CN Park. On the 5th, I was here in council chambers for the capital planning meeting. On the 9th, I met with Lori Bickelmeyer at the Friendship Center just to get myself caught up with what the Dauphin At-Risk Teens Committee has been working on and who is part of that committee. December 12th, which is this morning, I attended the grand opening of the new Northwest Métis Council government offices, and we were also given a tour of this fantastic facility. It's a beautiful building. And this afternoon, I took part in the Board of Revisions hearing held here at City Hall. That concludes my report. I would also like to wish everyone a happy holiday. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ray. Councillor Daly?
Thank you. I sat in on the aforementioned PZ presentation, which, by the way, is the Public Emergency Alert System, Inc. out of Calgary, Alberta. They're actually known as Alertable. So I sat in on that with the deputy city manager and our ICT manager. We also met again, I believe, the following Monday to discuss the presentation and leave it with those who know what they're doing to make a decision on that. In a DNRC board meeting, open the warm safe space on December 1st. They opened the meal program for under one roof, starting 4 meals an evening. So now for at least for December, I think there's at least 5 meal evenings per week delivered out of the United Church. And we're going to continue to work more on programming. The warm safe space is p.m. 7 nights a week, and that's good until the end of March. So we're already starting work on trying to figure out how to make sure we have funding for that, not so much for the summer, but coming again next year. and looking into grants and opportunities for that. So things are really taken off for us for the time being for the winter. Gives us a bit of a break. Attended the Citizens on Patrol meeting with Mr. Mayor and Richard Ives and Rodney Juba. We had a good meeting there. I was satisfied with that. I had some concerns about Citizens on Patrol from previous experience as a police officer. But Mr. Ives did an excellent job of clearing up any issues that I had. I think they're on the right track and have a real good grip on where they're going. I also volunteered at the Under One Roof first night for the meals, and it went very well. We had over, probably, I don't know the exact number, 20 some participants showed up for meals, so it was really good. I also met with Dan Mazer, MP Mazer, on the weekend, and again spoke to him about some of the social services and the programs that we have to have going here and the support that we're going to need in the future. And he was agreeable to a follow-up meeting, which we will schedule through his assistant, Catherine. Then at the priority and planning meeting, I met with MLA Brad Mikuleski as well. Same conversation with respect to safety and wellness. Yeah, so we'll follow up on that. Follow up with the, again, attended with the city manager and the mayor, safety and wellbeing committee, or meeting of interest at Dauphin Friendship Center hosted by DART. Just about the sort of the state of issues with addiction, homelessness, poverty, everything that we're facing today, what we can do generally as a full community and try to move forward with all the agencies involved. The mayor graciously volunteered me to take that on. So I wasn't voluntold, but no, I agreed to take it on, and I will work with Lori Bickelmeyer of DART to schedule another meeting in January to sort of follow up and see if we can't create action plan tasks going forward out of that. And but it was well attended. A lot of agencies attended. It was very good, and I'm confident we'll get some positive traction going forward. And then I attended the Northwest Media Council grand opening and the Board of Revision hearing this afternoon. That's my, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Daly. Student representative, Emma, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So we had a student council meeting on November 30th. We discussed the Christmas hampers and Christmas cards that we were to deliver to the St. Paul's Care Home. I delivered those and they were greatly appreciated. Our school received multiple emails thanking us for delivering those. Our Christmas hampers, we're still working on collecting food, so we have over 1,500 items at the moment. And our spirit week will be in the next 2 weeks, and our next meeting will be December 14th. For the grad meeting, we are currently running 2 fundraisers, or for the grad committee, sorry. We're currently running 2 fundraisers. So we're doing a spaghetti fundraiser at all the elementary schools throughout Dauphin. That will happen on the meal will be delivered on December 19th. We're also doing a pizza. It's Rosie's Pizza selling, and we will be doing that until January 9th. We'll also be starting a raffle, though the dates are not exactly set yet. But the next meeting is actually later this evening, so I'll find out more on that later. And also there were band and choir concerts on December 6th and December 8th. I attended and performed in both of those.
Thank you very much, Councillor Sticalo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For myself, November 28th, regular council meeting. December 5th, I attended the budget meeting that we had. December 12th, earlier today, I attended the Board of Revision that was held here at City Hall. But prior to that, today, I was also in attendance for the Northwest Métis Council grand opening of their new governance office on Main Street. And it's just want to say congratulations to them on completing that build. It's a welcome addition to the city of Dauphin and a very beautiful building, and certainly echo what some of the presenters and speeches were said there today about continuing to work with the Northwest Métis Council and moving forward with their presence, their ever-growing presence in the city of Dauphin. Also, I just want to give apologies and regrets on missing the staff appreciation event on December 2nd. I wasn't able to attend that, but I do want to recognize all the hard work that all the city staff does, and all their contributions throughout the year, and just note there was a few years of service awards handed out there. So 15-year service awards to Chief Cam Mabry, Ray LaBelle, Dean Wowchuck, and to Gord Love, and then 35 years for Daryl Aiken. That's an amazing accomplishment. And then there was also some retirees that were announced there. Edith Michaelchuk, 5 years, and Gary Burla for 22 years. So thanks for all your years of service. They are greatly appreciated. And I too just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a safe and happy holiday season as it's fast approaching, and also a Happy New Year. And that ends my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Laughlin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For me, November 28th, the regular council meeting here at City Hall. On December the 5th, as mentioned, strategic planning and priorities meeting as well here at City Hall. Yesterday, the 11th of December, I attended the Dauphin Kings Tractor Lotto Night at Credit Union Place. Just want to say congratulations to all the winners and the Kings on another successful fundraiser in our community. I know it's a big one come Christmas time, so congratulations to them on another successful one. December the 12th, that is earlier today, I too attended the MMF office building grand opening. Just another great addition to our community. I won't go on much more. It was just a very well-run event today, and looking forward to continuing our partnership with the Manitoba Métis Federation. And finally, earlier today as well, the Board of Revision meeting at City Hall, and I do want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Happy Holidays, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you. And Councillor Sobring.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On November the 29th, I also attended the Active Living and Transportation Committee meeting. The December 2, I went to the Staff Appreciation Christmas Party. I just want to say it was a well-organized event and lots of fun. It was good to be there and get to be part of the appreciation for all the hard work that is done throughout the year. On the December 4th, I was at one of the volunteers at the Dauphin Rotary Club Gifts of Light tree lighting. I just wanted to express appreciation to the city for allowing us to use the beautiful CN Park as a place for our fundraiser. The proceeds which go directly back into our community and other great works. And thank everyone. I think there was quite a few that turned out just to enjoy the evening. So thanks for that. I did attend my first cemetery board meeting for Riverside Cemetery on December 6th. The planning and priorities budget meeting, December 5th. The next was the Board of Revisions on December 12th. And I also attended the concert band and the jazz band as well on the 6th and 8th. And it was it was really good. I enjoy that. I think it's my favorite Christmas event to go to. Sorry, staff appreciation, but the kids know how to play. And and then I ended off with a great day today with the opening of the Manitoba Métis Federation Northwest Métis Council Governance Office. And it's of course, it's a beautiful, beautiful building. And I was also during the speech, they mentioned the Manitoba Métis Federation in this area is a provider of about 130 jobs, and that's just goes to show that that's a real positive contribution that that group is making in our Parkland region, and especially in Dauphin. So big congrats to them, and happy holidays to everybody else, and have a safe and happy Christmas. Thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Sobering. I'll just wrap up. I'm not going to run through the number of meetings I've attended. I've been referencing quite a few, but just want to show some appreciation to the staff that help keep me organized. And I don't know if they help councillors as much, but I truly appreciate all of the preparation that goes into getting us ready for some of these meetings. And just further to that, in terms of meeting, I've been meeting with all members of council just privately, just to get a sense of how we're doing, where we're at, getting a sense of as well a little bit more of some of your particular passions and related to getting us going as a council in a positive direction. Also, I've just been thinking about the discussions held in a lot of those meetings, just in the notion of trying to share responsibility as much as possible, knowing that certainly there's certain things the mayor, the deputy mayor may be responsible to participate in or attend. But further to that, I truly am hopeful that I can encourage all members of council to be involved as much as they believe they need to be with some of these subcommittees, whether they're part of your committee requirements or just the good things that we have to do in our community to make it a better place to be and live. And just on that note, I attended a couple of sort of not official events in the city, but both were related to the history of the city. I attended what Alan Gray did with the histories of Dauphin at the Senior Center, and probably the coldest night of the year so far. And there was a room full of seniors and others interested in the history, which I thought was very positive. And then also had a short visit at the CN Museum on Saturday, just to have a chat with the director there and others. Yeah, Jason Gilmore. And it was just interesting to note the similarities in the conversations about the importance of our history, and attending the event today at the Northwest Métis facility also indicates that it's a collective sense of history, not just from the settlers' point of view, but from the Indigenous people and others who were here beforehand. So really interesting amount of information gathering. So to the sign off, I'd like to extend my wishes for everyone to have a safe and healthy Christmas and holiday season. And we'll look forward to getting back at it in the new year. So with that, we have to have a motion, or we have the motion to accept all of the councillor reports. All those in favor, please indicate. That motion is carried. And then moved by Deputy Mayor Laughlin, seconded by Councillor Sobering. Be resolved that the council meeting be recessed at 6:05 p.m. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Meeting is adjourned. Oh, sorry. Meeting is